Hey, welcome world. Welcome world to this edition of Shiz and Giggles. My name's Andrea Lyons. I'm the CEO of All About Presentation, and each week we come to you on Fridays for funsies. So we're going to talk about a few quick things. Someone usually in the office will join me, or someone's will join me. And today I'm so happy because I have Wessam Hazaime. Hey, Wee Sam.
Hi.
She's joining me today. It's just the two of us. Just the two of us today. So I'm really excited. How you doing, Wee Sam?
Doing pretty well. How are you, Andrea? How's your week been?
Week has been great. Week has been great. How's it going? What you been up to? Stuff?
Yeah, just the usual stuff. Picking up, a little busy, but it's fine. I love being busy. I think it's more fun than not having anything to do.
Could not agree more. Okay, so listen, today's topic is all about luck, which I'm kind of excited to talk about it. Before I begin, let's just give a really good and a really big and a really heartfelt shout out to our teammates who are eventing right now. They're out doing events, so we, Sam and I, are going to join them here shortly. So, short edition today. So today's topic is luck, luck of the Irish, luck of the draw, luck, and how it relates to people in business. And so, one of the things that I remember that was so funny a while back, some folks in my office made a long bit about how, you know, what's that guy? What's that guy who started Facebook? Sam?
Mark Zuckerberg?
Yeah. Zuckerberg. Okay, so Zuckerberg, is he lucky or I mean, I'm sure there was hard work, maybe, but a lot of people, we went on a bit in our office about how people will say, "Yeah, I met so and so on a plane, and now all of a sudden I'm the CEO of Johnson and Johnson," and we went on a long rant about that. So, Sam, that's going to be our topic today, my friend. All right, so luck is defined as success or failure. This is my notes because I'm old. Okay. I think you cross a certain threshold and you get to have notes with you. All right. So, luck is defined as success or failure apparently brought by chance rather than through one's own actions. Success or failure apparently brought by chance rather than through one's own actions. So, I'm going to ask you a question, Wee Sam. Before I do, we have our producer. She's so great. She does research for us. She found some articles talking about this specific topic luck. And one of the things the author mentions is, and I think it's in Biz Journals or something, one of the things the author mentioned is that successful business owners make their own luck by working hard, staying focused on their goals, and making the tough decisions required to grow and succeed. I thought that was interesting. But what I want to get from you, Wee Sam, is as we talk about luck, because Wee Sam was one of the main people with the whole comedic bit about how people say they're lucky. And then they're like, "Oh, yeah, I went to a yoga class once. I met James Cameron, and now I'm an avatar." Right. And you go, "God, I don't meet anybody at the yoga class, especially James Cameron." And so she was one of the main people that was leading this conversation, comedic conversation that we had. So, we Sam, let me ask you this question. You started that conversation a while back, but what has been your experience, or what preempted that conversation? What brought about that conversation when we were talking about it in the office?
I think for me, I come across plenty of people who just happen to what I perceive as lucky, whether it's meeting certain people or certain opportunities. But my idea of luck does not revolve on sort of the definition where you don't have any action or you don't participate in something that happens. My idea of luck is more so of you have to put in that time, that energy, and that effort. And also, I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason. So even if you're lucky, I think that everything you did in your life, your actions, your active participation in your own life led you to that point where you were quote unquote lucky to have met a person or to have found $20 on the floor, whatever it may be.
Let me ask you this question. Have you ever been lucky, or have you ever had a time where you could say you were actually lucky?
Ooh, that's a good one. I'm trying to draw back on like so many memories right now. I think one of the things that happened in my life that I would say I was lucky in having is probably my. Mm, oh, okay. This is a luck one where it was you meet a person. I was in Italy one summer and I happened to go into a church, and we weren't really wanting to go into that specific church, but we just happened to go on in. And guess who happens to be in that church? I perceive this as
James
luck.
Cameron.
It was Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Yeah, that was my reaction too.
Well, that is lucky. That's pretty great. Wow. Did you speak?
We weren't able to speak to her. She was totally surrounded by like security. She is super small. But I think that was one of my luckiest moments because, you read about people in history books, you read about them online, you hear about them, but then you get to meet them or at least see them in person. It kind of changes your perspective of sort of what moments in life lead up to that sort of luck.
I agree. So I heard on Oprah show one time that as you would, that's where all the best advice comes from, the Oprah Winfrey show. so so I heard her say, and so many people have said that it's, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. I think that's the saying. Folks can correct me on that, but part of me says there is a large part of it is that opportunity piece that comes up, because I can be just as prepared as I want to be, but there may not be an opportunity. And when the opportunity happens, you don't get to control that, right? So that what maybe opportunity is, and people call opportunity the luck, because no one gets to control that. That's like 100 million different factors come together to make this thing work or make this thing happen that creates this new opportunity. So there's a concept too of beginner's luck. And I wanted to talk to you real quick about that, sweet Sam, since there's been times when you've been a beginner, and also you're new with us too, so hello. But let's talk about that concept of beginner's luck. First of all, do you think it exists? And if so, have you ever had that? Have you ever had beginner's luck?
I think beginner's luck does exist to some degree, especially in the timing. Say, for example, when I first started my photography, I had a lot of beginner's luck in that. And the timing and the place that I decided, it's a very like hometown kind of area. Everyone wants to support everyone. So I had luck in that aspect in starting my photography business and trying to figure out that time and place. I think beginner's luck starts there, but in order to continue and to progress in business, especially, there's more to it. I mean, I pose this question for you, Andrea, starting All About Presentation. Did you encounter any beginner's luck, or would you say it was more than that?
Yeah, definitely. I think I still have beginner's luck on stuff. Whenever I start something new, people say that you're lucky. But ultimately, beginner's luck is when a novice or someone with very little experiences seems to have instant successes. That's beginner's luck. So let me just say, for the record, yes, but I don't know that it's luck. What I think is that I would call it ignorance is bliss, right? So you're not yet, because you don't know enough and you don't know what you don't know, you're more free to make certain decisions. So you'll do something and it may work because you're unencumbered by the fact of having 50 times where it didn't work, right? So you may just be someone who just happens to hit the 50th time when it will work, when something will work for you. And so it's almost like ignorance allows you a freedom to be able to do things, make reactions, or take actions that have certain reactions that if you have 100 years of doing something, like there's certain things now that I call them dark alleys, right? I say, no, I don't go down dark alleys. Why? Because I've been down enough dark alleys to know you will get clobbered or could get clobbered. But if you don't know something is a dark alley because you're new at it, then you do it and it may work for you and you come through unscathed and you had this really great experience because of it. So is that luck? Beginner's luck? Nah, it just could be ignorance, and ignorance is freedom. So like if you don't know, if we all knew, and this is going to get so morbid, but if you knew you were going to die tomorrow, right? What everything you do today would be so different, right? But because, or it'd be different because you'd be like, I'm eating everything in sight. I'm drinking as much as I possibly can. And I'm eating every red meat that I can think of, right? That's what you might do because you're like, I'm not going to be here tomorrow. It's fine. But, there's a certain bliss in that, if I don't know that what's going to happen tomorrow, then I still eat the red meat and I still eat everything I have. And I make it till tomorrow and I'm fine. So, I just think that there's a certain portion where there is beginner's luck, but I really think it has to do with you don't know what you don't know. So you're willing to take chances that you don't know are very risky, just to be able to do a thing, and it may just happen to work for you. And that's how I would really define beginner's luck. And speaking of that, I don't know. Would you add anything onto that? Or do you think I'm crazy, Wessam?
No, I think you're right in that. And that's very interesting. And I think in that statement of sort of the ignorance is bliss and that risk factor, I think it also lends to having that risk personality where you're willing to take opportunities or make opportunities and knowing the unknown. Knowing that you don't know what's going to come out of it, you don't know what's going to happen, but you just have to take that jump, and you have that personality that is willing to adapt, whether it goes well or doesn't go well. And it's also that chance of probability. It's like flipping a coin, right? When you flip a coin, you don't know that it's going to go on heads or tails. You take that chance and that risk in order to hopefully be what some would call lucky, but it's also that sort of opportunity that you just created.
I couldn't agree more. And just kind of mentioning that, I'll talk about this article again. The title of the article is 6 Reasons Luck Has Nothing to Do with Success, with business success. 6 reasons luck has nothing to do with business success. And that what you just said is actually number 2 about, taking chances, being willing to take chances. And also in this article, it pointed out, just so people know what the 6 things are, because people might be interested. So I'll just go through them really quickly. So we have number 1 as they understand there's no substitute for hard work. Okay. And then number 2, they take chances, folks take chances. Number 3, they focus on the customer. Again, this is 6 reasons luck has nothing to do with business success. Number 3 is they focus on the customer. Hey, that's true. A little before this recording, or before our show today, I had a sales call. And so I was going through it with someone. I guess I can't say their name because it's a customer. So anyway, she said, you know what is so great about you, Andrea? I said, what's that? She said, you can tell that you love what you do. And I said, well, thank you. But actually, I love who I serve. And I think that's different. Like what I do is cool, but I love customers. I just think that is so fun. These are my customers, right? Like ever since I was little, I've always had customers. And so I just love that concept of like, there are customers in my shop, right? It's just such a sweet thing. And so anyway, number 4, they don't procrastinate. Right? 6 reasons luck has nothing to do with business success. They produce more than what's expected, and they aren't afraid of hearing no. So just so you know, and that's like a lot of CEOs and people who've made it to the top have heard no a lot. So just so you know, that's the article. Good article written by, we probably should give the writer credit, Let's see. The writer is Brad Smith. He's a contributing writer. Brad Smith. Great article, Brad. It was a while back. All right. So, Wessam, as we conclude today, I have a question for you. And this is probably
Let
the
me
$1,000,000
know.
question. So, all stars, sparkle, everything. Do we, as humans, as people, do we create our own luck? What do you think?
I want to say no. That is my initial answer is no. I think that I'm drawing back on my own experience and my own beliefs when I say this, so it may not be the same answer for everyone, but I think for me, I don't believe that I create my own luck. I think that um, my religion plays a big part of it. But to some degree, I do believe that, you know, humans have a role to play in making things happen. You have to get that ball rolling. You can't just sit there and wait for things to happen. I think that's where luck starts to get a little in the gray area. Um, but I think that my initial answer is no, but I can argue both sides because I love arguing both sides all the time.
Hilarious. Hey, me too. Also, do we create our own luck? I would say yes in the real world and no at the casino. So that's my answer.
Love to hear it.
Okay. So, all right. So we are going to wind down. We are now at our closing time. As I said, we got a jet. Sam and I are going to have to boogie here in a minute. So Sam, I don't know about you. Is there anything you would like to leave the people with? Any thoughts? Having a good weekend, out into the weekend. What are your thoughts? Anything?
Hope everyone has a wonderful weekend, first of all. And second, don't be afraid to take a little risk every once in a while.
You might get lucky. Ba boom boom. Shh. Right? No. No? Okay. All right. Well, everybody, I say this. I say you can call it's luck is like magic, right? It's all in that same category to me that I think you can create it, you can derive it, you can build it. But all of it is intention, right? So I do think when you are intentional about what you're doing or actions that you're taking or goals that you're striving for, you'll become more lucky. A matter of fact, one of my coaches says, the harder you work, the luckier you get. And I could not agree with him more. The harder you work, the luckier you get. So work hard at relaxing and maybe you'll get lucky at relaxing this weekend. I hope you all have a great, great weekend. And it's been great spending time with you. Join us here next Friday at, what time do we do these? 4 o'clock? 4 o'clock. Hey, listen, can we just give a shout out really quick, Sam, to our producer Casey. Yay, snaps.
Yeah, shout out to Casey.
Shout out to Casey. Thanks, Casey, for all your hard work on this episode. We'll be seeing you all again next Friday, 4 o'clock. Hey, have a good weekend. All right, talk to you soon.